All right, so it took till the middle of the day. Actually, it was a couple hours ago, but we finally got some negative showing on the solar. So we can see the little arrow pointing to the left now. And then as it cycles back through the displays, we'll see that it was reading about negative 0.04. So that means the solar is not only powering everything in the complex, but also it's also sending a little bit back to the grid. There it is right there, negative 0.04. Did you get that?
It cycles around.
Yeah. In addition, I put a label on circuit breaker number 2 here. That's the 200 amp breaker that feeds the sub S, which is for the sanctuary. So this warning tells first responders or anyone who's interested that the panel supplied by this overcurrent device contains an inverter output connection, which just means that the sub panel that this breaker controls has solar connected to it. So that's pretty much all there is to see around here.
So would that be an emergency turn-off, or?
It's only if they want to turn everything off. If you want to turn off the solar, you should not turn it off from here. You should turn it off from the 40 amp breaker that we saw in the sub panel. The other thing maybe worth recording up here, we want to keep track of the total usage. So on here where it says kilowatt hours, it says 3,205. Mm-hmm. That number is going to probably start declining slowly over time. Mm. It'll be interesting to check it at the end of summer and see how far down it's gone. It will rise back up again in the winter because you'll be bringing energy in from the grid, because the system is only big enough to power the average usage of the church. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be kind of fun to watch it go down on the really sunny months, May, June, July, August, when the system's producing at its maximum potential, and you'll be banking those kilowatt hours to use again in the winter when the sun is lower in the sky and the days are a little shorter.
Okay, and this number here, the 3205, that represents the total number of kilowatt hours that we've consumed since
the meter was installed.
Oh, okay.
So that's like a lifetime number there.
Oh, okay. And so, but it'll go down.
Yeah, it'll go down in the summer and it'll go up in the winter, in general.
Okay.
Corresponding to when you're sending more power back than you use.
And the computer monitoring that we're doing doesn't monitor this.
They're sort of separate numbers because the computer monitoring will only tell you what the solar is generated, but it will not subtract off how much the church has used. So this one is the sum total of the amount you've generated minus how much the church has used to represent either the total amount that you're bringing in from the grid or the amount that you're sending out to the grid. Mm-hmm. If we've designed the system right and the usage of the church doesn't increase too much, we would expect that the number of kilowatt hours total should not rise very much on an annual basis. So if you keep checking it at the same time every year, we would hope to see it stay at 3,205 more or less, maybe within 100 kilowatt hours or something like that. Okay. And it's going to vary depending on how many rainy days you had that year, and it's going to vary depending on how much electricity people use during that year. But if the trend continues as it has in the past, we hope that the solar is going to keep that number from going up, because if it weren't for the solar, that number would go up year by year by year, higher and higher and higher, and you would be paying for that electricity. If that number stays the same, that's all the electricity that you were not having to pay for because the solar was generated on site.
And if we go to the SoCal Edison website and look at our usage for this facility, would we be able to see a graph of that, of what you're telling us about on the digital here?
I would think they'd have that information available. That in PG&E territory, where I'm more familiar, they have They have graphs and they have Excel sheets that you can download from the online account. You should also be able to see it on your bills. They'll usually give you a graph on your bill of the last 12 months.
Oh,
So,
so we could see a dip. in the
yeah,
summer. Oh.
and more importantly, your bill, once you are net metering, once you've been approved for permission to operate, your bill should start telling you how much of the month, how many kilowatt hours you are sending power back, and how many, how much you are bringing in. So it should tell you both the negative and the positive numbers, and then give you the net amount as well.
Oh, okay. That's good. All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, we got it covered everything here. That's great. Oh, thank you very much.
I'll let you put